Hello friends, my name is Kim Cunio. I'm here from Australia attending this conference, and I'm here to provide some music along with Heather, who is next to me. I'm a composer and work in Australia at a university, and have a strong interest in Sanskrit, but I am not a Sanskrit scholar. However, I've had the chance to set Sanskrit to music many times, and I really love this, and it's a joy to be here where there's so many incredible Sanskrit scholars.
Hello, my name is Heather Lee, and I'm singing in Sanskrit tonight along with Professor Cunio next to me. And Sanskrit is such a beautiful language to sing in. I'm finding out now that I'm singing more of it. It's very beautiful and open and so spiritual. So I look forward to the concert tonight. No, well, I mean, the vowels are inherent, and also the ones that look, I'm talking like I know Sanskrit, but to me as a singer, I've sung in many different languages, and Sanskrit is one that it feels really, really lovely and open and quite easy to sing in. But I will. It's quite interesting. It's sort of tonight we'll be singing in front of 70 Sanskrit fluent speakers. So I'm just really enjoying, and I will, looking forward to doing that and offering that.
It's such an interesting thing to think about what makes Sanskrit different. And there's about three things. One is any language of the old languages that were designed for spiritual life and to communicate spirituality, seem to be really different to us today. Because first of all, their vocabulary is much smaller. They're not really so much interested in how much a price of a pound of lentils are, or these sorts of things, that their derivation was for the inner world and the cosmological world. So something is different, I think, before you even get to the notion of pronunciation or singing. And we could say to some extent, even though Latin was a vernacular, the way it's been preserved is also a little bit similar. Ancient Greek, ancient Hebrew, there's languages in the Western traditions that are similar in that regard. But then, as Heather said, there's a purest energy to the vowels of Sanskrit that maybe is similar to Italian, that there's very few liaisons in the vowels. So in the Anglo-Saxon languages, there's this thing called the diphthong, this combination of two vowels that often becomes quite muddy as to what the sound is. And it's very, very hard to know, particularly in the English language, sometimes what the vowel is, because the pure vowel sort of sounds a little bit wrong. But the pure vowel in Sanskrit sounds absolutely right. And so it is a delight for a singer such as Heather to sing, I think, because of this notion, because a voice will become potentially more pure from the language itself.
So tonight we have prepared chapter 9 of the Gita, and inspired by the Nightingale of India, Lata Mangeshkar from Bombay, who left her body a few years ago. She's the most famous playback singer in India. So if you heard those old films, you would probably be hearing Lata Mangeshkar sing, and the beautiful actors miming. She's very good. So the Gita, and so we prepared that in a style sort of actually note for note on her improvisation, and then so we do that for a little while, and then we go off into our own improvisation, and that can be in that style, the Indian classical, but because we are both opera singers, it can go into that almost Italian opera style. So let's see. Yeah.
There's only one thing I'd add to that, what Heather said. This is a conference that is about the computational sides of Sanskrit, which is really interesting. So it's essentially really smart people with laptops and programs. Like, for example, as we are speaking, someone is talking about this notion of a new spell check algorithm of some sort for Sanskrit. So there's people who are incredibly smart with technology applying this to Sanskrit. And we were a little bit inspired because we're travelling for the year anyway, and so our acoustic instruments aren't with us. So what we have done for this is we're playing samples of my actual instruments that I've coded onto the computer that we are playing off a keyboard. So we think there's something a little bit similar to the conference, that if you're not listening, or if you're listening without watching, you would just think, oh, this is Indian classical instruments or other instruments. But if you're nearby, you're seeing someone play this very small keyboard that triggers these sounds, which took hours and hours and hours to record and code. So that'll be quite fun to see what people think and whether there's a resonance between that work and the conference itself.